everyone, I'm Tina, the creative guru with Gems, Paper, Scissors, and today I am working on the final layout, the left-hand side, and tomorrow's live at 5 will be the right-hand side. So I am skipping the prepare for both pages of the adhere the photos. This layout is gorgeous. I love it. It is not terribly holiday-ish for me, and that works out even better. So instead of doing a holiday layout, I am saving this layout specifically for my family's first hike. Every year we try to make a point of heading out on New Year's Day early-ish to hit a trail. And I love it. It's always quiet and crisp and cool, whether we go up into the mountains and find snow to snowshoe or stay closer to town, hit the beach, whatever. We have such a diverse environment within an easy jaunt from where I reside that I don't know exactly what we're doing for first hike yet. I am in the process of discussing that with my daughter that hikes the most. And it might be honestly just the two of us with some doggos. I don't know yet. We're fine tuning this. So I'm going to be adhering all of my items so that I can slide my photos in and do my journaling after the fact. Okay, we're going to flag or do the chevron cuts as we go instead of doing that optionally. I did run my 3C and 3H through the embossing, and here is that folder. So I'm going to open that sandwich up and lift off the piece for the left-hand side. I will leave the other piece in to include showing for tomorrow's live. And so I had two pieces pre-cut and put it into my embossing folder and then made my sandwich between my plates based off of the design instructions. So this was a 3D folder. So with my stamp and emboss machine, that means that I used the 3D folders, embossing folder. I used plates 1 and 4. And that was it. So I've run that through and it is ready to rock and roll. The other thing I am adding is this just doesn't have any bling on it. And it doesn't have room to add like I did on the first two pages, that beautiful, beautiful deep blue from the Charming Shimmered Faceted Dots. And I could add these fainter ones, or I could still go on ahead because that blue does coordinate, but it just doesn't feel right for this layout. So I am going to get my messy on. Okay, I'm going to move all of my bits and bobs for this layout off to the side, like so. And I am going to take my Wink of Stella and shake it up, make it nice and distributed. As you know, the Wink of Stella is a shimmer type brush that it has an alcohol carrier, and I tend to just tear off a piece of my carrier sheet for things like dots or my embellishments, just so I have a place to squeeze that doesn't make a big old mess, right? Because I want some puddling. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, but I'm squeezing where it says push, and as bringing down, you can see that fluid starting to chamber up, and then it'll come on down and drip. And I like to get this really juicy. And then I'm going to just tap it all over my page by tapping it on my finger. And you see how it's giving me all these wet, juicy dots on my face? Okay, I am going to do both the left-hand cardstock and tomorrow's right-hand cardstock right now, just to contain my disastery mess. So, again, just tapping it on your finger makes for a beautiful batch of sparkling, splashy, almost sparkly snowdrops, right? And I'm going to squeeze just a little bit more. This is how I go through a lot of Wink of Stella. I always have at least one on backup because I'm going to go through it. Okay, you go through a lot of Wink of Stella doing these after a while, and it is totally worth it, folks. And this one, you see I'm squeezing and nothing's coming into the chamber. So I am just going to end it here because I think there's really enough. I don't know if you can see that little splash of sparkle. So tomorrow, when it's dry, we'll take a look and see if I want to add more, at which point I can show you how I open up the chamber and get one started because they come with a spacer for shipping. So I'm going to cap this off and put it into my recycling bin because it's completely compatible in my area. Okay, here is our left hand side, and you see these sparkles. I don't know if you can really get, I just turned on a little shimmer, but see how that shimmers and sparkles? It's like the glistening of snow. Okay, now I'm using the white side because you know that these come in two-tone for our 12 by 12 cardstock. Now it says to it here, piece A, B, prepared C, and D. So A is this nice little blue strip off to the side. And I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus tape runner. And I'm doing this over. If I pick up any sparkle from the base, which isn't likely, but if it hasn't finished drying, it might pick up just a little shimmery something, something, and that'll be gorgeous. But because it's an alcohol carrier, it dries almost instantly. So, okay. And then piece B is this really pretty little ginghamy look. Just like so. And you see how I just pick it up and flip it with my off finger. Just like so. I'm just lining it up and butting it up next to piece A so that it looks well distributed. Okay. Okay, piece C is this really delightful piece right here. And again, I'm using a lot of my Stampin' Seal Plus. I will add dimensionals to add volume and lift here in a bit. And I'm just eyeballing it. The instructions give true measurements. If you are particular and you really want it centered and perfect, by all means, you do you, right? I'm an eyeballer. Okay, next is piece D. Let's see here. Oops, I missed piece C. That's the embossed piece. Now for this, because the tape runners or Stampin' Seal Plus is known to occasionally lift off on these extra textured embossed pieces, I'm going to go ahead and run with my liquid glue. That one's also almost out. I have been crafting so wonderfully much that I am running my products out, and that's really exciting. And I'm just going to tuck that in like so. It's a little off center, but I'm okay with that. Okay. Because I'm going to bump in my extra trims and stuff. Okay, so we've got A, B, C, and D. Now E is this one, which typically would already have all of the photos on it. But like I said, I am saving that for after my hikes. So pop in on my Facebook group, my VIP group, if you want to see the updates. I will have that up on Friday, January 2nd. Okay, now comes the fun part. I have a little sticker right here that I get to peel and tuck in. And this is where my off-centering turns out just fine. Okay. You're really not going to notice it so much. So there's that. At which point now I've got this little bird and it kind of overhangs. But let's go ahead and get this kind of position. I'm just going to do a tiny little dot so I can easily lift it off. Because I like doing my writing off of my project. I don't want it to really get a heavy imprint of my pens because I have a heavy hand. Then I'm just going to add a couple of dimensionals, neither of which will go over my pictures or my writing. Lift those off. It is getting a little rowdy around here. Kids are kids. And I'm just going to get that so that the mouth is kind of overhanging like that. And then a photo will go here. Now we're going to do this little cluster. The first piece is a sticker right here. And we're going to slide this in. And we're just butting this up, right? And then we've got this piece that should have a chevron. It's supposed to have a little chevron, so we're going to grab our snips, start in the center, because it just makes it so much easier to have it eyeballed even. And it's still off to the side a little bit, but I am really okay with that. I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal Plus and add a little adhesive here. And then, oh, my granddaughter has all the big feels. Then, oops, turn that around. And I think I should have put this behind because I want a little bit more oomph. So let's tuck that just like that. Okay. Now it has this little tiny piece that also has a chevron. So we'll snip that out. Like so. Go the other direction, and then we'll do some tidy up snipping. Oh, my granddaughter's calmed down. In case anybody was wondering, that was her saying, I don't want to clean up all of my disaster. She emptied out all of her toys, and she's getting really hangry. That dinner isn't for a little bit. It's simmering in the stock pot. Okay, now it shows this little embellishment, and we're going to go ahead and use a dimensional for that. Just like so. It's definitely hard being a small person, right? Okay, so we've got this. We've got all that lined up. Another photo is going to go there. We're going to come down and add this wonderful best day ever. And I think I'm just going to tape runner that. It does not need to be popping off of the page. Just like that. And now we're going to do our 3 little trees, or 2 little trees over here. The first one is a sticker, and we're going to do the extra tall one. And although it technically overlaps that photo, I'm going to grab my anti-static pouch and powder that up so that just this little section right here is not sticky. Okay, so that I can still slide my photos under, right? Just like so, I can still mount my photos. I'm going to pretend that's a photo. Kind of helps give a visual effect. Okay, next is this little guy, and I'm going to just add some dimensionals to the bottom part. See how I'm keeping my placeholder with my finger? That will help me not overstep my range here, because I get carried away with adhesive. So we're going to just keep that in place, marking my pretend photo. Remove my backing. Oh, she says I don't want to clean up. She's telling my daughter, no, Mama, I don't want to. It's so hard being little. Just like that. Okay, and then we have one more piece to attach. And I think my desk just swallowed it. Oh, it's way over here, off to the side. And it overhangs, so I'm going to do a dimensional over on this section. But I'm going to use a mini because I don't think very much of it overhangs. And then we're going to take a tape runner and add just a little extra stickum and get that attached so that dimensional mini is helping it not curl up. And that completes our left-hand side minus the photos and journaling. Isn't this just super fun? I hope you do check my Facebook page out on January 2nd to see it completed with the journaling and photos. Come back tomorrow for our second half of this layout as our live at 5. Thank you for joining me, crafty friends. Until next time, find your joy.